Welcome to our third self-isolation vlog. It is Saturday, it's April something, I keep losing track of the days. Welcome to our channel. If you're new here and you enjoy this video and travel videos, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you won't miss anything. We literally just walked in the door from Myrtle Beach. We had to go there to take care of some home maintenance, and that video is already out, so if you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description below. It was really interesting there. I'll talk about it a little bit because I didn't talk about it a whole lot on that video, so I'll talk about the experience and what it was like. It was very strange there. It definitely had more of that sort of ghost town feel because there are areas that are sort of off limits like the beach, and so it's just bizarre seeing it like that. And also the hotels are closed, so there aren't tourists, so it's just really, it was a strange experience. I'll talk about that a little bit more, but we are going to exercise. Brian's gonna run, then he's gonna walk with me, so I gotta wait for him to run, and then I'm going to edit the Myrtle Beach video I just mentioned. Again, that will be out already by the time you see this, but I need to do the editing for that. And then we'll see what the day unfolds. I think maybe play some games, we'll see. Definitely probably work on this puzzle down here, so I'll show you where it was left when we last worked on it. Here we are. I know it doesn't look much different, but we are slowly making progress. Still got a lot of pieces though. We're out for our walk. It is a beautiful day. I didn't even need this. I've been covering my hair when we walk to keep the pollen out of it, but it looks like we're on the downtrend for pollen. It's still here, but I think it's starting to dissipate a little bit. It seemed like it came early this year. Brian made a ton of progress today. I did a couple of pieces, but he mostly worked a lot of this puzzle today. We were definitely getting there. Good morning. It is Sunday morning. We've actually had a very busy day. Brian ran. We both walked outside in the dark. Well, the sun started coming up while we were out. And then I made all my lunch salads for the week, and now we just made boma eggs for breakfast again, and some other stuff. I'll show you that in a second. Beautiful day today. It's gonna be in the 70s. The green has definitely exploded outside. Everything is green now, which is wonderful. I love it. It's funny the difference just from last week. I mean, how all the trees have green on them now. Green explosion, beautiful. And here's yummy breakfast this morning. So we've got boma eggs, which is eggs with goat cheese and spinach, some mushrooms, a roasted tomato, a little paleo gluten-free biscuit that I make, and pork sausage that's homemade as well. I make that and freeze it as well. Can't remember if I showed these already in one of these videos, so if I did, sorry for the repetition. I don't have good memory, but here are all of our magnets from our 2 cruises, from the ports we stopped at, plus the ship, of course. And it's sad because I don't know when we're gonna get to cruise again. We loved it. We finally found something that we both really, truly love, passionate about, and don't know when we're gonna do it again. It's funny, I brought my tripod out here to talk to you guys, and I just realized this is the short one because you guys know I'm not tall and it's cutting the top of my head off, but it's okay, it'll work. You can at least see my face. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. First of all, I want to talk about our experience going to the beach. As I mentioned, it was for maintaining our house, not for leisure, because we knew everything was closed. It wasn't one of those, you know, have fun trips. That wasn't our intention. It was really weird. It was so much stranger than here. Yes, I'd say we're in an even bigger lockdown. Like North Carolina's governor has really shut everything down, where South Carolina's governor has not. He's shut some stuff down, but not a statewide stay-at-home order, at least to my knowledge, unless that changed overnight. I haven't seen the news this morning. But it was so strange because the beaches are closed, and because the beaches and the non-essential businesses are closed and the hotels are closed except to existing guests. They didn't kick people out, but if you weren't already there, you couldn't check in any more new people. Since you couldn't check in like a new person, it was deserted. It was weird. It just shows you how many tourists are there year-round, because this was even more dramatic than, say, January when it's cold. There's still more people walking around and stuff, so it was bizarre, and that really gave you that wow. Like it was just such a strange feeling and such a strange experience. Like I walked down the boardwalk, there was one person to the right that had their bike parked and was sitting on a bench, and so I went to the left. There was literally no one. That one person is the only person I saw, except for a couple of delivery trucks making deliveries, and that was it. So it's very ghost town like, very strange. Now once you get closer, you know, in where all the locals live, not away from the beach, then yeah, you see people just like you know, going about their business. And in fact, you see, in my opinion, more people than we see here. People seem to be taking the stay-at-home order here more serious. We saw so many people out and about. I mean, maybe they were just doing like what we were doing, which was driving around in our car. But anyway, lots of people. The other thing I was going to talk about was travel. So you guys know we're focused kind of on travel on our channel. And I don't know, other than Myrtle Beach, when we're going to be traveling. I mean, none of us do. And we love cruising. We had a Disney trip coming up. Those are things I definitely don't want to do anytime soon. Like, even if they start opening and happening again, until we have a vaccine, which they're saying is 12 to 18 months out, I don't want to get stuck on a ship. I mean, we feel like we barely got back by the skin of our teeth on this last cruise. So it's not a risk I'm willing to take. Will I cruise again? Absolutely, when things are different. Like I said, vaccine, or you know, once I'm sure I can go on a ship and not worry about getting stuck on a ship. And really, same goes with Disney. I mean, Disney, I've gotten some of the worst illnesses I've had at Disney, contagious ones, I should say. That's another place I just don't see us going anytime soon. Will we go again? Absolutely. But things will really have to change. That's one reason I'm glad we got the place at Myrtle Beach. I think that's one place I will totally go to once things open back out, because there's so many outdoor activities there. There's 2 state parks in Myrtle Beach. There's Myrtle Beach State Park, there's Huntington Beach State Park. And you can buy an annual pass to get your whole car in, not just a person, but a whole car of people, like however many you have, in for like $70, $70 to $80 a year. So that's a really good deal. There's Brook Green Gardens, which is outside, beautiful. That's another thing you can buy an annual pass to. There's walking around outside at Broadway, walking around outside at Barefoot, walking up and down the boardwalk, walking up and down the beach. So yeah, I think that'll probably become a big vacation destination for us until, like I said, either a vaccine or just things radically change, because cruising and Disney, I think, are going to be 2 of the things that I'm going to shy away from until the climate is a little bit different. But anyway, share your thoughts with me in the comments below. If you're a cruiser, how do you feel about cruising, and when do you think you're going to go back to cruising? And if you're a Disney World fan, or any Disney, not just Disney World, any of the Disney parks, and when do you think you would go back? Like, what would change enough for you to feel safe to go back? Is it the minute the parks open again, or the minute cruises start again, or would you wait a bit like I'm saying? Just very curious about that. Today is Palm Sunday, so if you celebrate, happy Palm Sunday. And this is going to be an interesting Easter this year, definitely different for me, a different kind of Easter, but I'll still celebrate it in my own way. And one thing I was thinking about too is I'm glad this happened, this strange period that we're in, while it's nice outside, at least for us. This is great weather. I mean, it's actually in the 50s right now, so it's a little chilly. I'm in short sleeves, but it's gonna be in the 70s today, and then it's gonna be in the 80s most of the rest of the week. So I can't imagine what this would be like if we were stuck in and it was freezing outside. That would not be very fun. So those of you way up north where it's still cold, I have some sympathy for you, because that would make me feel, I think, more closed in. Also, I've noticed strange little changes about our routine. These are trivial, but like used to. So I got up, we both got up early this morning. Usually I would head out for my walk while Brian runs on the treadmill, and then we finish about the same time and start breakfast. We just now finished breakfast, and it's late for us because I waited for him to finish his run, and then we walked together because I don't have anything pressing to get to. Like today I was supposed to go out to eat with some girlfriends that I've known since middle school and high school, and we're gonna do a Google Hangout instead. So we're still gonna try to get together, but virtually, obviously. So yeah, life is very different. I just don't have that urgency to get to the next thing, and that's a good thing. I'm trying to, again, look on the bright side, the silver lining. It's a different pace of life, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's made me think, okay, I probably need to try to hold on to some of those things once things go back to normal. I don't know what the new normal is going to be after this, but whatever that normal is, I need to try to hold on to some of these better quality of life, better lifestyle things that we're doing. I know it doesn't show up great from way up here on my deck, but the grass is really coming in. I'm not talking about this over here. We already had grass there. It's this area right here is where they tore everything up. And it's really starting to sprout up now. I know you see these muddy patches, and those are going to remain bare until either the grass spreads or moss spreads or something spreads, because We had torrential rains right after he seeded, and sadly it washed some of the seed away from those spots. But otherwise, where it didn't wash away, it's definitely coming on up, which is awesome. I found out that Brian has a self-control problem when it comes to puzzles. Who knew? I think this is the first one he's ever worked in his adult life, and he cannot stop. He just keeps coming in here constantly. He's put so much. I've done a few, but not many. He's done most of this.
You've done quite a bit.
Not as much as you have, and he's like coming in here so often too. So I'm like, slow down, because we do have another puzzle, but it's only 500 pieces and looks pretty easy. So I think after this one, it'll be cakewalk, and I don't want this to be over because it's fun. Come out into the backyard after work on Monday. Hello, it's Monday. I've been working like crazy today, but I wanted to get a little bit of sun, and I noticed the grass is coming up even better now. And even more exciting, some of those muddy spots where I was afraid we wouldn't get any, we're getting tiny blades of grass there. So definitely coming in, looks nice. So as I said, this has been a crazy Monday. It was so busy at work. I did manage to get my walk in today, but as you can see, it's warm again, and so I didn't have my jacket, so I didn't take the camera. Other than that, I just worked. It has been a Monday. I mean, how is that possible when you're working from home? But not complaining. I am grateful to have the job, but it was busy. It was really busy. I'm glad the day is over, ready to relax, and it's just still strange times. I don't know when this is going to stop feeling strange, or if it'll ever stop feeling strange. It's just weird. I think part of what's weird to me is how there's ups and downs about it. I mean, of course, the whole thing at large is bad. We all know that. But I'm talking about the day-to-day life impact. There's good things, there's bad things. It's nice not to have to commute. It's nice to work from home. It's not cool to be afraid to go to the grocery store though. It's nice not to have to wear makeup every day. Well, I guess you don't have to, but you know what I mean. It's nice to wear t-shirts every day. So yeah, it's a lot of, you know, up, down, strange feelings. And then of course, you know, worrying about friends, family, yourself, just all those things. And then also worrying for people you don't even know, you know, and thinking about those people that are affected. So it's definitely a strange time for sure. But anyway, I know that you guys will see this before you see this video, but just in case you didn't notice, we are going to resume our cruise videos, but we're also going to continue the self-isolation vlog, so there'll be 2 videos a week as long as I can maintain it. I should be able to maintain it because I've got a little extra time right now, since we're not traveling and we're home, because, you know, we go to the beach almost every other weekend normally, not right now. And so we've got extra time, and I will attempt to keep that schedule for a while. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to sit on those cruise videos for a long time. When this first started, I thought, oh, maybe this will just be a few weeks and be over. I have a feeling it's going to be much longer than that now. And I don't want those cruise videos just sitting that long. I realize people can't cruise right now, but we'll be able to cruise again. And I want to share that trip with you because we had an amazing time. It was so wonderful, and some of the best is yet to come. Like, we've only showed the first day, embarkation day, and there is so much coming. There's Key West, there's Cozumel, there's Grand Cayman and Costa Maya, and where I got to see Mayan ruins for the first time. So I want to share all of that with you guys. It was so amazing. So we're going to keep putting those out as long as I can sustain 2 a week, and I should be able to hopefully keep that going. Tonight is shrimp stir fry night. I've got the stir fry veggies over here cooking. I've got the shrimp over here cooking, and I'm going to add some rice and some toasted sesame oil. I use this instead of soy sauce, it's gluten-free. Fresh ginger, garlic, and scallions or green onions, and of course some eggs. Once the shrimp are done cooking, I take them off the heat. I also take the vegetables off the heat so they don't overcook because I like them a little al dente. Then I put the toasted sesame oil in and saute the garlic and the ginger first, and then I'm going to add the rice. And then, oh, and by the way, I use this, you want to use already cooked rice when you make stir fry or shrimp fried rice. And so I use this, it's great, and I just put it in frozen, it works fine. And then I add in the eggs. So it's sort of cooking in stages. Now I've added the eggs, I'm going to scramble those and then mix those in with the rice. And then I'm gonna add basically everything in and put the green onions in at the very last moment. There's the finished meal, and at the very end, I top it with toasted sesame seeds. Yummy! It's now Tuesday morning, and we just made breakfast, so I'll show you that, and then up to the work office. Here's my breakfast this morning. Our breakfasts are similar, but slightly different. I've got sauteed mushrooms, roasted tomatoes, over easy eggs, and one of my little paleo biscuits that's gluten-free. Time for another work day. First item today is lentils in the Instant Pot. Here it is. And this is just green lentils, salt, pepper, garlic powder, cumin, and coriander. And in the Instant Pot, it's supposed to be super easy. You're supposed to put 1 cup of lentils and 1 3/4 cup liquid, which I just used water. I want to keep it vegetarian in case Brian wants to eat some. And so it's pretty simple. And then the cooking time varies on what you're going to use it for. I saw for salads, which is what I'm planning to use it for, you want like 5 to 7 minutes. Softer, you want 12, and like soups or stews, 15 to 20. I'm going to do 10 because I do want them firm, but I don't want them too firm. So I'm hoping that'll turn out good. So we're going to manual and put this on 10 minutes. And also it did say to also, once it finishes, let it sit for another 15 minutes before you manually release the pressure. When I'm batch cooking multiple different dishes, I always prep for one while one's cooking. Try to get everything as efficient as possible. So right now I'm preheating this pan to cook some chicken that I chopped up and is marinating in the refrigerator, which I started before the lentils. And now I'm prepping the onion and garlic for some beef that I'm going to cook after the chicken. So I just try to keep doing the prep for the next dish while I'm waiting on something, while I'm waiting on this pan to heat. Nothing else to do, might as well do it. Now I got the chicken going, and the marinade was very similar to what I put in the lentils. The only difference was lemon juice and olive oil, but salt, pepper, cumin, coriander, and garlic powder. Now comes the real test. I'm preheating this pan for the beef, so I'm just going to saute onions, garlic, add the beef, ground beef, cook that. Then all this is for batch cooking, so it'll freeze. I use this to make like sort of Chipotle-like bowls. This I put on my lunch salad. So let's see if I can do this without burning something. Alright, I pulled it off. So here's the lentils. A couple comments. The first one is they are too mushy, so next time I will do the 5 to 7 minutes, but I'm also going to soak them because to me they taste a little bitter. They said don't soak them for the Instant Pot, but I like to soak all my lentils overnight before I cook them to remove a little of that bitter taste, and I can taste that. So I'm going to soak them and then probably only cook them for 5 minutes, and hopefully that'll turn out. I'll let you know. I'll do that the next time. And then over here, I've got, I said this was ground beef, sorry, it's ground bison. Got 4 bowls ready to freeze to use for making sort of like a Chipotle or taco salad bowl. I don't obviously use the flour shell, just the veggies and stuff, just kind of like you get at Chipotle. And I also had enough to form a burger, which I'm going to eat tonight for dinner. It's still in the refrigerator. I haven't cooked it yet, but so I got basically 5 meals out of that. And then I've gotten 6 chicken for my salads. I mean, I could use this in other stuff too, but I typically put it on my lunch salads. It's now Wednesday. I almost said Tuesday. See, it's so hard to keep up with the days. Thankfully, it's Wednesday because it feels like it's been a long week already, work-wise, that is. I know, otherwise it doesn't make any difference, but work-wise, it's been pretty hectic. We're at a hectic period of, the cycles I have at work, so it's been very busy, but about to start the work day. It's another day at the office. Got my iced tea ready to go. This is my second walk today. I walked at lunch, did my normal exercise. This is more of a leisure walk. I mean, I'm not strolling, but you know what I mean. It's just to get out. It's beautiful today. It's mid-80s. Humidity's not up yet. If it wasn't for the pollen, it would be perfect. It's still kind of, I'm gonna stop so I'm not shaking as much. It's still kind of polleny. The pollen's rated very high. It doesn't look as yellow, so I think it's more the invisible pollen, but the big trees are pollinating now. The little trees and grass started, and now it's the big trees, so still pollen, but otherwise it's beautiful. As you can see, not many cars around, and I saw one family, the entire family, parents, kids, and everybody, sitting in their driveway on laptops, and another guy sitting out playing a guitar. And it's early afternoon, no, well, it's late afternoon, but it's before most people are off work. I work an early shift, and so it's so funny to see all these people at their houses. I mean, I know everyone's at their houses, I get it, and it's a beautiful day, but it's still a strange thing to see. It's not normal. It's the new normal, right? My roses are just about to bloom. They're all getting buds. I'm so happy because I don't know if you remember, but last year they were looking kind of bad because when Brian trimmed them, I didn't get all the trimmings out, and that's really bad for roses. And I was scared I was going to lose some of them, but they all look beautiful this year. So I think they are going to survive. They've all got buds. And continuing the yard check, the grass is starting to come up in even more places. This is where one of the trees were, and you can see the little blades of grass. Brian did come out here and try to dig up some of the stump they left behind. We paid them to grind the stumps out, and they did a terrible job. But some of these pieces he can't get up, but he said he doesn't think the mower will hit them. He's about to mow the yard soon. I know this part doesn't look that bad, but the rest of our yard needs it. Ah, this is beautiful. It's funny, this view right here is why we bought the house. To be, you know, in a reasonably sized population and have this for your view is to me worth $1 million bucks, which we paid nowhere near that, of course, but I just love this. I love it. It is good for my soul. I love sitting on our screen porch when we have our furniture out and it's not put up because of the pollen, and just enjoying this view. Also, some of you may remember that we have access to some hiking trails back here. And if you're wondering why we haven't been doing those during the self-isolation, they are narrow. They are so narrow. In some areas, they're surrounded by water and there's bridges. So there's no way you could stay 6 feet from everyone on the trail. And we know people are using it because we've seen people cutting through our woods. People in the neighborhood will use these woods to access the trails. And so we know people are using it, and we don't feel like that's safe. So we've actually been walking instead out on the street because you can see people coming, you can cross over to the other side of the street, whatever, and you can definitely keep your distance. Whereas these trails, there's no way. If you came right up next to someone, there's no way that you, unless you went running into the woods, I guess, if you're not afraid of snakes and poison ivy, you could do that, but it's not worth it to us. Tonight for dinner, I made salmon cakes. They're gluten-free. I just use almond flour and arrowroot flour for the binders. And then those are the lentils I made in the Instant Pot, and some greens that I had previously made and froze. It's now Thursday, also known as Friday Eve. I'm so glad. For some reason this week feels long. I feel like I say that every week, but these weeks are strange. So I woke up with a slight headache this morning, which is not cool. I think it's because we're having storms roll through. I am so grateful for the rain though. I am so grateful. We have got really bad pollen, and also, as you know, we're trying to grow grass, so rain is definitely good. Brian won't have to water the grass today. Had something really strange with the ice maker right behind me. I was drinking my tea, my iced tea, and I like iced tea in the morning. I'm Southern, what can I say? And Brian's like, "What's in your tea?" And I was like, "What do you mean? It's just ice." And he goes, "No, you've got like a big piece of plastic in your tea." Sure enough, he's right. There's a giant piece of plastic in my tea. I knew it wasn't in the tea I made because I make it from scratch. I actually boil the water, steep the bags, you know, old school. It's not instant. And so I took it out. We took the ice maker apart. Sure enough, a big chunk of the ice maker came off when I got my ice this morning. Thankfully it's still working because I don't want to have anyone come in the house to repair anything right now, and we use a lot of ice. We like our iced tea, so I'm really glad that it still works, but it was so strange. I'll show you the piece now. So here's the piece of plastic that was in my tea. Huge. I mean, here's my cup so you can see how big it was. It was down near the bottom, and so it kind of blended in with the ice, and I didn't see it, and so I actually dumped that tea out, and I'm making fresh because I have no idea if there were like tiny plastic shards on it, and I don't want to drink any plastic. But that was just so weird, and I didn't even get crushed ice either. I know some of it looks crushed, but it just comes out that way. I just got ice cubes, and so that's just so weird. And our refrigerator's not that old because we had the kitchen remodeled, so it's not like it's, you know, years and years old. I'd say it's 5 to 7 years old, but it's not ancient. You can see the rain knocked a lot of those little pollen things out of these trees back here. It's interesting. I thought maybe stuff wouldn't fall on our deck anymore since we removed all the trees from our yard, but these big ones in the woods behind our house still lean, you know, pretty far over towards our house, enough that we still get all kinds of stuff on the deck. But I'm just so happy to see this rain. It's wonderful. It's Friday and time for another day of work. We have had some really strange weather today. As you can see, it's calm now, but it was super windy earlier today. I'm talking about to the point that when we were walking today, it's like pushing you. You can actually feel it moving you. Now the winds have calmed down. It's a little breezy, but it's not super windy. And it's in the 50s, and it was 85 yesterday. And it's supposed to get in the 30s tonight, but thankfully it's not gonna freeze since my roses are blooming. I'm super grateful. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now, and also subscribe so you won't miss anything new. Thanks so much for watching. Until our next adventure.